And welcome to the Small Biz Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It's again me, Mario, the flying accountant, and my friend Stefan. How are you feeling today, Stefan? You okay?
I'm all right. I'm okay. Yeah,
You
I'm
alright?
hype. Let's
Short
start
and
the next
sweet.
subject.
Love that. Thank you. So yes, on today's agenda, we have a plan to talk about how to create engaging videos. And a disclaimer before we start: we are not social media experts or editing video editing masters or anything like that. We just we're just talking out of our personal experience. Maybe we can give some suggestions that our listeners can find useful. And we are in no way, shape, or form trying to give suggestions, or not suggestions, but not trying to give, not trying to say that we are 100% correct. So
No, we just tell from our experience of small content creators and business owners. So we
exactly,
can tell you what worked for us and what didn't work just from our short experience comparing with other people. Of course, there are people who
exactly,
are experts. So just
exactly.
to get you started.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just we today we're gonna cover like a few different topics. How to come up with an interesting topic is the first one. Then we're gonna talk about how to create an interesting headline and caption for this post that you're doing. What is the best format to use? How to retain, and then finally how to retain and reward your audience. So it will be we're gonna cover some basics and some things that we think are worth mentioning for all these topics. And yes, I suggest we jump right into it. So the first point is how to select an interesting topic, and I think there's like a few methods or a few strategies that you can use. And I think one of them is, for example, you can talk about the far past of your life, maybe some lessons that you've learned, but not just any lesson, of course, not like when you learn to ride a bike or something. Lessons that you can tailor that you can tailor to your business or to your like personal experience that made you better in your field, for example. And if we have to come up with some suggestions, maybe I did it. I've done a post on that. Is, for example, when I found out how much time I'm spending on my phone, for example. And when you see how much and when you check your screen time settings on your phone, that broke my belief that I don't have enough time in the day. This is a story from the far past, for example, something that you've went through, and now you can talk about, and you can make an interesting topic out of it, because probably there's a lot of other people that can relate to this. Because we spend a lot of time glued to our phones, so there's potentially other people that can relate to this topic. So yeah, I think this is one thing you can talk about when you're thinking, what should I write about, or what should what video should I make?
Yeah, I think what I learned from my experience in general, life experience, is what's very obvious for us is not might not be very obvious for other people. So other people might be interesting, because for example, in my domain in surveying, you don't think about first steps like I did it like 20 years ago when I start surveying, but for a newbie it's something new, so you need to be yourself. So yeah, exactly as you said, you might learn from your you just share stuff that might be very obvious for you, but they are no obvious for somebody who just starting doing things.
Yeah, exactly. And then something else you can talk about is your recent past, not the far past, the recent past. Maybe if you're already talking to customers and you're already getting some inquiries or some questions on your domain, as Stefan says, you can easily do a topic on that. Like, Stefan, you must be asked many times what is the best surveying equipment, for example, or what is the best procedure to do this, and from fellow surveyors or from even customers. So this is a ready off the shelf
Yeah,
topic for you to talk about.
you take it and you put it in your notebook, and definitely just write them. Ideas just comes by your ear. You just need to catch them. definitely. I've been aware the last year of it, and I have a notebook full of ideas. Yeah, definitely.
It's a game changer, yeah. Like because you good ideas come rarely, but when they come, you need to be sure that you can capture them and remember them and write them down, not just trying to remember them because
Yeah,
yeah, it's a
yeah.
different.
You're gonna forget them by the time you get home. So yeah, you can even record them on your phone or write them on your note application or whatever. It's just whatever keeps you. Yeah, remember it later because I promise you're gonna forget it. Right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then something else you can do is find topics that people are interested in and talk about this topic. So, for example, I know people are interested in what's the best legal structure for my business, sole trader or limited company, or how to extract money from your business as a company director. I know people are generally interested in these topics, so I'll tend to write more topics on this area. Like, why would I write about something that people are don't care about? It sounds obvious, but again, finding topics, or for example, Stefan, people, for example, in the drone industry that are getting into surveying, for example, they want to know what's the best drone for surveying. Which
Yeah.
one should I buy? And you can make you can you do and you do make content on this topic.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's a lot of people ask me, and you might be surprised. Is like people ask me the same questions. So as I say, what might be obvious for you is not obvious for everybody. So that's why I'm saying, just open your ears and open your notebook and write them. And if one person is asking you some stuff, there might be more people that they are interesting about that topic. So definitely, it's day by day. Just go through your doing your daily routine, and you might be surprised how many. Sometimes you think, people ask me the same stuff. It's like, yeah, same with drones, as you say, and
Yeah,
like
people
Mario
tend
with
to ask
the same, he gets probably the same questions about the
yeah,
company,
yeah,
and I
exactly.
I know I'm asking,
Yeah.
so the same questions, yeah, definitely.
People tend to ask about the same stuff, and trust me, there's nothing wrong in posting about the same stuff, making content on the same stuff, because if you think people remember all your posts or all your videos, you're you
Yeah.
know you're lying to yourself. You can make, you know you can post the content about the same topic many times, obviously, not exactly the same thing, but about the same topic, and people will still find it interesting if it's an interesting topic. So this is this is
And another thing is, sorry to interrupt you. Another thing is people say, oh, but it's been there are loads of videos like this. Yeah, but they might not explain you like you. You might
exactly, yeah,
understand, but some people they just might understand from you better. So why don't you do it? Your own style, saying the same
exactly, yeah.
stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Um, and just lastly, I want to touch upon this topic is you can also find what's trendy and talk about it. If, for example, like a new surveying equipment has come out, and you can be the first one to talk about it, like to see to say what's the improvements, and how is it better than the previous one. Or for example, in my domain, in accounting, when a new tax law come, like I remember it was very popular when the HMRC introduced the new tax laws about online businesses, how from platforms like Etsy, eBay, like Deliveroo, all these different platforms now, um, what certain information will be sent to HMRC so they can gauge better how much money you've earned. So yeah, finding about and there's always trendy stuff in whatever domain you are that people find interesting learning about. So it's just a matter of looking for, just thinking strategically. Creating content and thinking about topics is strategic intent. Like you need to. It's not just okay. I'm gonna talk about this, and at least that's how I think.
And the more you do it, more ideas will come through.
Correct.
It's like, yeah, like Mario said, riding a bicycle. It's just you're gonna you're gonna come up. You're starting, you barely could keep your balance, and after that was you just start doing tricks and stuff, and after that you start jumping. And it's the same with content. You just need to start, and once you're getting started, you just you're gonna come up with more ideas and stuff. So definitely.
I agree. Yes, but now let's say let's say you've chosen like a good topic, but now you're faced with the with the challenge of choosing a good headline as well. Because what is a good content without a good headline? Like you spend all this time, fuming and thinking about it, but if your headline doesn't work, then you know it's so important alongside with the thumbnail as well. But the thumbnail will be covered in a separate probably episode. But yeah, headline. And who do you think is the best? Who do you think is the best at making catchy headlines? It's the news media. Like if you think about it, they managed to cover. They managed to glue so many people to their TV, like watching news and like reading news. And I think they're the pioneers in creating headlines. And they use a few different tactics um, when they create headlines. And I'm just gonna go through some of them, so you can just get the gist of what you can implement in your own headlines. So, for example, um, news agency, they use recency in their headlines. So, for example, they talk about something that's happened recently, which could be interesting in. So, for example, when a new equipment comes out, you talk about it like it's a recent development in your domain. So this is something this is a strategy that you can implement. And another one, for example, is yeah, relevancy. So there was it was something funny which I read is nurses, for example, they care about changes that affects nurses, not to changes that affect accountants, for example. So it is important make your to make the headline relevant to your audience, basically to the
Yeah,
people that are watching.
definitely. Sorry. Um, Definitely is like in my channel, I talk about surveying and I talk about the drones. Okay, the surveyors they might be interesting about drones, but the drone people, I'm sure because I'm looking at the numbers, the drone people are not so interested about surveying stuff. Or but I will try to mix them and just to provide, to be make aware people that are starting want to start drone mapping, to just make them aware of just basic stuff
Exactly. Yeah.
in land surveying, because it's very useful. It just change your mentality and the way of thinking about errors and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in this example, the word drone mapping, for example, would be crucial in the headline because
Oh yeah.
it gives the viewer straight away. It gives the viewer like an idea of what the video is gonna or of what the video is gonna be about.
And it helps is not only that, it's just the search engines. They
In the
make you
search engines
eh,
as well. Yeah, search
these
engines.
days it's like it used to be like, I know is a big topic. The people just used to uh, put like random letter words in the
Oh yeah, don't
title
put
or
random
stuff.
words. No.
But no, you just these days you make it sound like people will search for it, like you will search for it, or any other
Yeah,
people,
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
like a
exactly.
human being. So the title is very important for your content to be findable, to be
Fine. Yeah,
found.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. To
basically,
be
yeah, yeah,
easily
seen,
easily
yeah,
discoverable. Yeah.
discovered,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so yeah, this is one strategy you can implement. And another one is, for example, if you can use celebrity names. For example, it might not be applicable to it might be applicable to drones specifically, but let's say
Yeah.
you're making a video copying the breakfast of the Rock or the training plan of the Rock. It's just the fact that you've used the Rock. Like if you're copying my training plan, no one will care because no people don't know me, but because it's the Rock, people will probably pay
Or
attention and
Mr.
and
Beast, like you see, like everywhere is like, yeah, they try to just push their content. But if you use your content for a business, yeah, definitely just think of the long game. Don't think of the short game. So when you use,
exactly.
if you use a celebrity or yeah, just
Yeah, you need to
think
purpose.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You still need to tailor it, like you don't just do random video on a celebrity.
Exactly, or random put random words in your title just to
Yeah, yeah,
be
yeah.
found because oh look, it sounds funny.
But this is just an idea. Or something else, for example, is you can make it like the the headline of your video can indicate proximity to the geographical location where you are. For example, you can be posting a video like a stock footage, for example, of the city where you live or the town where you live. Or for example, you can be I saw there's videos on YouTube, for example, of people wearing the Apple Vision Pro, like the new
Oh
goggles
yeah.
in London, for example. And I don't know if you're in London, and first you're in London, and then second you're interested in Apple Vision Pro, for example. Then you have two reasons to click on this video, for example. So yeah, using geographical proximity is also could be a strategic way to put in your headline. And then just there's probably loads of different
Yeah.
strategies you can use.
Also, for example, let's say if you have a business or you have a hobby, whatever, or something that you want to develop in a business, or even just you want, just for people to, as you say, personal branding. You might, let's say, focus for people in we are based in UK, so you might focus for people in UK, so that's a geographical, or like
Exactly.
Scotland or England, or another even more focused, or as you say, London. If your business is, don't know, you have a flower shop in London or whatever, in Edinburgh. It's
Yeah,
just yeah, it depends what you're looking for, or where you're based, or what's your client, where is your client based, or if you are online, you can be anywhere.
yeah, you can start as locally as your town. It could
Oh yeah.
be because you could be the right person that people around you are looking for.
Yeah,
Instead of focusing on UK nationwide, for example, you can start as little as
maybe
your.
your city, mine is too small, pal.
Well, I mean, or at least your area, like at least your area, if you're living in a very small place. But yeah, this is something that this is some try. There's way more to be said on this topic, but um, we can probably leave if that's interesting to you. We can probably leave it for a separate podcast. But then, obviously, the next
Put
question
it in the
arises.
comments.
Put in the comments exactly. But the next question arises then: what format should I use? Because I think up until like maybe a few years ago, you just post long video format, and that's what everyone posts. So there's not much you can do. But right now you have so many different options. Like you can post short format, you can post long format, you can post memes, you can post pictures with captions, and so many. You can do so many different things. How do you think, Stephanie, is the best way to approach this question? What's the best
Videos.
format to use?
Videos,
Videos, you
definitely.
say?
Yeah, it's the hardest. It's the hardest, but I think it's the best. But I didn't start with videos. I start with blog post,
Blog post, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, definitely just post like my client, for example, is on LinkedIn. So I think if you have it's if you have a business that your end client is a business, so B2B,
Hmm.
definitely I think LinkedIn is something that you need to look at
Yeah.
first, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you look after maybe TikTok or YouTube, or yeah. So definitely I think if you are a B2B business, definitely it's LinkedIn. So I start with post. It was hard at the beginning just to make engaging posts, but then I learned by doing it. So definitely, yeah. It's so yeah, photos, engaging photos. Look at other people how they do it, how they get, especially the people that get a lot of engagement, and see how they're doing. Make people get engaged, like putting questions that people will answer you. It's just a whole subject. But definitely videos, they were the best. They are the hardest to make them, because they require filming and editing, and not only that, you need to be in a
Yeah,
certain way. But definitely, they just like they have the best success, I think, in my opinion.
yeah,
What do you think?
yeah. No, I think that as well, and I think if we agree that the video is the best format to use to like engage an audience, then you're presented with the question: do you use short format or long format? And I personally think, and this is my personal opinion, that you should start with a short format,
Yeah,
because the art of video making and just like retaining people is like an art. Like, you need to learn how to retain people. And if you're new in this area and you start right away with the long format, you might not get you might not get much retention in your views, just because you're not too good yet at like filmmaking and production. But if you start with a short, which is it's by its definition much shorter clip, you can't go very wrong there. It can allow you to learn by posting shorter content, but posting more regularly, because long format videos will also take you more time to prepare. You can experiment with short form videos. You can see what works. If like you can experiment with different camera angles that were shot, and different editing styles, and different topics, and you just give you an idea of what works for you. And then when you feel like a better filmmaker, I'm not saying you shouldn't create maybe long format videos in the meantime as well. If you have the capacity, you can do it. But I think you should start with short form, because it's easier than long form, and you want to have like a progression in your
depends what's your
filmmaking.
target. You know what I mean? It depends
That's
what's your
true as well.
target, because if you, it's just from my experience, the long format and short format, they're just two different beasts these days.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like the short format is just it needs to be like very flashy, and like, and another thing is like whatever worked well on YouTube Shorts, it didn't work as well as on TikTok. So it's just like
yeah,
different platforms have like different styles. So you need to study a lot just to look on, especially on YouTube. People that, professional, that they do this for a living, and see how they do it, how they change angle. They always offer like free tips and tricks. So just do that and just test it in your videos. This is what actually we do, both of us, though.
yes. So I think a few things that you can try in your videos to like retain an audience. And basically, I think the biggest driver that drives retention is curiosity in people. And there's a few ways you can make people curious. For example, you can use lists of things, like, for example, the top five top five drones for aerial photography or for real estate photography, or the top three bank accounts for my business, or the top 10 mistakes that new business owners make. It's just the fact that people will sit down and they would want to know what happens next, what follows. So this is maybe more to tailor to long form format, but you can also tailor it to like a short form content as well.
But yeah,
Uh,
it's and another thing, if you have no ideas, you can use ChatGPT. Though, please don't copy paste it.
yeah, don't paste.
It's you need to process. It's like you have, instead of starting with a blank page, you will start with something that gives you idea. But yeah, definitely, um it's a good start, but
Yeah,
don't really copy paste it. Actually, we might do another video. It just depends of your input.
yeah,
Every
yeah,
every once you change a question or a data that you introduce, it just change all the meaning. So yeah,
yeah.
that's a good head start if you just lacking of ideas. Yeah,
I would even suggest, like, before even reaching out to ChatGPT for ideas, first sit in front of a flat piece of paper, or like a flat Word document I use normally, and just try to come up with any ideas, because I kind of feel like if you resort to ChatGPT straight away, you kind of take away from your creative like creative flow of
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah,
You
yeah.
just
You
resort,
should struggle at the beginning. I agree
yeah,
with
yeah,
you.
you
It's
resort
a
straight
learning
to the,
curve. Yeah.
yeah, this feels like the easy way out. Because if you really think about it, you can come up probably with a couple of ideas, and then when you use ChatGPT, um, you just the ideas that the chat will give you, you just make you just make you think more of like different topics that you probably wouldn't have thought about if you resorted straight to using AI.
But
And
depends what's your input about it, because you
yeah,
need to know if you like really blank. You better go make your research on, let's say, YouTube, and then you kind of know what to look on, and just look on what the most successful videos titles, and try to not copy paste it, but see what works. See, there is a pattern in everything,
yeah.
what people looking for, what people Google. That's like such a big subject that we can probably spend days on it.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So I suggest we this is a good topic for a different video, but just on the topic of um how you can retain an audience in your videos. Also, we covered like lists. You can talk about top 10 or like the best 5 or whatever the case might be. Another one is like steps. For example, you can make a video where you are teaching your audience something. For example, how to set up for example, the software for mapping a land, or how to how I make my oatmeal or whatever. It's just so many different things. And obviously the steps are more rigid than the list, because the step is like step by step. You need to follow the process to go to a desired outcome. But this is something else. This is another way to retain a viewer, because they would want to see the start and end towards the like throughout the process. um
That's
so
my
this
favorite.
this yeah, well, this is normally,
Yeah.
hopefully hopefully this brings me to the final point, is how you reward an audience. And you reward your audience by the by the in by the usefulness of the information they get out of your content, by how useful your content is. Because if you, for example, make a video on the 7 ways to make up with your spouse after argument, and you give 5 ways, or you give 7 ways, but all of them are just some generic ones, you haven't done a good job of rewarding your audience. And it works the same way with all videos. Like, in order for people to feel like, these are the best 10 minutes, or like the best 15 minutes that I've spent watching this guy talk about something. In order for leave your viewer with this with
Feeling.
with this feeling. Yeah, exactly, thank you. You have to do a good job. You have to have a high value per second
Yeah,
ratio
definitely.
in your content. What do you think, Stefan?
Yeah, no, definitely. You should provide quality information. If you provide, as you say, the thumbnail and the titles are very important, because that's like the package.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
once people come and see, I'm just talking about videos at this moment.
Yeah,
So if people would see, you will click on your video on YouTube by your title, and then if it doesn't deliver, it's just people they're just gonna drop it, and it's just a waste of time. I mean, no, really, if it's a learning curve, yeah, you learn how to do stuff, but like try to just provide the best information in the best way possible, the most straightforward. Don't over promise that you're gonna deliver something, and when people click on your video, they will just be very disappointed that you actually
exactly,
didn't
yeah.
deliver or didn't give everything. This is how I like to do. If I say, for example, I have one video that says how to do drone mapping for free, is actually all the way from to the
Exactly, yeah,
orthophoto
yeah, yeah.
is like for free.
For
it's
free.
no it's no a clickbait, it's no anything. It's
Yeah, yeah,
exactly this is what I deliver. Yeah.
yeah.
So don't try to clickbait and just people, because that will just
have a negative impact.
bite your backside, so definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and the content creation field in general is as brutal as it gets, because if you don't, it doesn't matter how good you think your content is, the audience decides. Like, if
Yep.
if and it's the best measurement of how good job you're doing. If you keep posting videos and content in general, and your audience is not growing, then you're doing something wrong. You need to step back and just start strategically think about where you could be going wrong and what you could change to change that. Because yeah, if the people decide here what's good and what's not. And it
But
doesn't matter how good you
in
think
the
your content.
same time, don't fall in the gaming, in the number game, because if you are niched, like I am with surveying or draw mapping, and I can't have the same number like a guy who does entertainment or whatever. You can't have millions of it's just not the same stuff.
Of
I'm
course, yeah.
more niched, and the surveying subject is not so. It's just taking consideration, that's how big is your audience and what do you want to deliver. It's like same with, like, probably Mario stuff is like, it's not, no offense, Mario, but it's not the most sexiest
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm
the,
sure. Yeah,
like topic with accountant. People just like pass it to the accountant, but
yeah. No, I know, I
it's
know.
good to know what's happened as a business owner, or if you want to get open a business, just to know everything what's happening, so to take the best decision. That's what I'm saying. Don't fall in the numbers game. It's just think about your niche and just try to provide the best information possible.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I should have said that you obviously measure yourself against yourself. You don't
Yeah.
compare yourself to other
Yep.
people.
Yep.
But
Yep. Yep.
you Stefan, have experienced growth in your audience, so it
We
doesn't matter
both at
if.
the beginning, so it's again, we are learning also. We are in the same process like yourself, but we have a bit of head start, and we have a bit of testing. We saw what worked, what didn't. So yeah, definitely that. As I say, just try to compete with yourself, like Mario said.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I didn't. Yeah. Sorry if I came across incorrectly. Don't compare yourself to Mr. Beast. Compare yourself to compare yourself to you 1 month ago, and check, has my audience grown, have I got more inquiries, and do I is my retention better, stuff like that. So uh,
Feedback, yeah, definitely.
feedback, yeah, that's crucial. But yes, I don't think I have much more to add to this topic. Was there anything else you wanted to say,
No,
final words?
no, it's just as you say, we are not, we don't have like big channels or whatever. We started, and we talk with people who just want to get started, what to look at,
Yeah, exactly.
because people just start and then they think they do 1 2 videos, and after that they drop and they say it's not working. But as I said, perseverance, try to become better from your last be better than your last video. Try experimenting new stuff. Try to take follow like people who content creators that they are in your domain, see what works, what video works for them, what topics, and this is just a learning curve for everybody. Definitely don't fall in the numbers game from the beginning. It's going to be really hard. I know, we are feeling on our skin. It's just so hard, especially YouTube with algorithm. But it's easy to blame somebody, and instead of like just learn your lesson and just move on, then just become better. What are you thinking?
Exactly. No, exactly. I agree. Couldn't agree with you more. But yes. Well, in that case, if that's all for this video, I think we should leave it at that. We'll make more videos on this topic, because I think it's useful to talk about this. But yeah, if you feel like there was something else that we wanted us to cover, please leave us feedback at the bottom. We'll read, and we'll make more videos in the future for this topic. But yes, in general, thanks for sticking. If you if you at the end of the video, thanks for
And
watching till the
don't
end.
don't forget to subscribe, Flying Accountant, and my
Flying
channel, of course,
Surveyor.
Flying Surveyor. So just help us also become better and just have more reach. So see you in the next one.
See you in the next one. Thank you, guys.